Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. I'm going to have a little fun with this one. I put a collection of final thoughts together, and this is not necessarily the greatest hits. I just took a couple of snippets, and I'll be putting out a couple of volumes of my final thoughts, only if they feel like they resonate. But I have a couple here, like four, that I'd like to share with you. And I'm just doing this so because I'm gonna start to collect them from my old videos and stuff like that when I find them. But of course, sometimes your takes are better than others. So if I have some good takes, I'm gonna clip them up and put them in subsequent volumes. But before I get started here, I would like to you to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell, and let's get these subscribers up to 1,000. And one of the things I want to advertise is on Wednesday, my sports show is live at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And on Monday, I'll be talking about some laws that if I was had the power, what laws would I change? And I'll be on the Black Man Unfiltered Network doing that on Monday. And also, there's a survey on my community tab. If you get this far, go to my community tab, take the survey, especially if you peruse my channel, because I have videos on relationships and marriage, videos on politics, videos on sports, and then, of course, a whole live sports show, which I'm always excited about doing. And so I got 4 clips here, and they're short clips, and I'm going to just play them. So these are some of my outtakes, my final thoughts on several shows. The first one that I'm gonna show you is a final thought on a relationship between a guy, gal, and why we have so much trouble connecting, especially in the Black community. And it's short, so I'm gonna play that. The next one is another clip. There's a relationship minded. The third one is the second one is really based on, I'll talk to you about it, but it's really based on a lady asking a question, why am I still single? And we had a whole panel discussion based on her bona fides that she came up with on, and her question on, after all I've done, all of this stuff, why can't I find a husband? And so we had a bunch of people talking about that. That was a fun episode. So I'm going to do that with you. Then the next one is a political one. I had a show on Black Man Unfiltered Network about politics and the First, Fifth, and the Eighth Amendment being violated to get people that the government doesn't like. Even if those people are guilty or not, we don't know. They just haven't had their fair day in court. And the last one is a sports thing. I'm a Drew Holiday fan, and I think he should be in a Hall of Fame. And there's a lot of people who don't think he's worthy of it, but he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and he's been that way for pretty much his whole career. So we're going to talk about that. So without further ado, I'm going to put the first video on, and I want you to listen to that. And we'll go from, I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to put that up. Nope. Okay. It goes.
Payne, final thoughts, sir, and thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for letting me up. Salute to the gentleman on the panel. Listen, I agree with Kasim when he talked about, men and women are better together. Civilizations have been built on people, men and women working together throughout the ages, made the United States great. And one of the things I think we need to recognize that there's a lot of forces fueled by the commercialism that's trying to keep us apart. Biological, with all that crazy stuff going on with the alphabet, right? The cultural difference, how ratchet the culture has become, and the environmental, a lot of the laws. And so imagine all of that pressure is required to keep us almost hating each other as men and women. That tells you that they have to apply all of that force because the natural inclination for us is to be together, right? So in order to break that, they got to do all of these dastardly things. And a lot of times we miss the programming that we're under because it just seems like it's just a natural thing. But left to our own devices, we have no trouble being together. And I'll just leave you with this. When a man, if even in this modern time, and I always say, people tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. If you want to be married and you find a woman who wants to be married, the rest of it is a negotiation between you two. That's it. So if you have to search for that, you need to search for that. Nobody said it was going to be easy, and it doesn't have to be. You just need to be able to recognize, if you're a man, you need to be able to recognize that woman when you see her. And if you're a woman, you need to be clear enough to recognize the man. I'll leave it there. All right. So I'll leave that there myself. So that was my first one. The next one I want to share with you. I'm going to stop sharing this one and share the next one because this is the one where a lady asked a question on, she asked the question, why am I still single? And we had a nice session chopping that one up. And we went into a whole lot of different directions on that. But it still was a good podcast. So, and then my final thoughts on that one covered the whole stream. And then, so I'll let you listen to it.
I just put this link in the chat also.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna be quick myself. Listen, man, we went around the world here. We started out trying to help a lady who asked the question, "Why am I still single?" And we found out that the consensus of most of y'all said there ain't no hope for her at 31. But I don't necessarily agree with that. But by looking at the way she's coming up, she's got a lot of baggage that is going to keep her from the man she wants. Then we're talking about a young man. I think he's entirely too young to have felt so bad over a broken relationship with a wayward girl, because he looked like he was 21, 22. And, maybe Reckless got on my case because I didn't have any compassion for the young brother, but he got to get his ass back out there and get back on the horse. That's the only way, again, guys get over that. They can't spend too much time sulking over a chick, man. They definitely don't want to put, say I'm not in the game no more because of one woman. That's kind of what women do when they get traumatized, and we talk about age. When you tell your kids to leave the house, and that is not necessarily the best thing to do, but as long as they're productive, if you could give them some more years to stay and stack money and stack experience in your home, where they don't have all the pressures of being out there on them, when you can still mold them a little bit more into their young adulthood, just do that. I hear some guys wish that their daughters never leave their house unless they're getting married. I wish that would have happened for mine, but it just didn't work out that way. But, and that's probably not the norm, but it's a good idea. But my wife, when she left her parents' house, she came into mine, so. But that was back in the dinosaur days, okay? So before somebody else says it, I'll say it for you. Mm-hmm. And then we talk a little bit about money and finances. And we probably need to have more shows on that, even though maybe even get a financial planner up who's not self-centered or on the shit that he's doing.
Well, we need one here. We really need one because
just talk about how to set some things up when you're a young adult and looking forward to your adulthood. I mean, when I was working, all the young people, we had the thrift savings plan, which was a 401k plan. And you'd be surprised how many people don't even put money into it to even get to the matching of 5%. And now they're 40 and 50 years old, and they're going to these retirement classes and figuring out, shit, man, I'm like 20 years behind the curve. So, and then, of course, the family values thing on the parents and their responsibility to their kids. In New York City, they just had a woman whose kid was train surfing. The dude was standing on top of the train while I was moving. He died.
That's not the first time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's not the first time.
I heard about that.
She got on they actually put a mic in front of her face, and she blamed everybody else in the world except her own goddamn responsibility.
And here's the thing: they train surfing have been going on for almost a decade, and the reason that happened, These kids are coming from broken home with no
Well,
structure.
hold on before we go down there. Yeah, you're right. But the point I was trying to make is that she's suing the MTA. She's suing the internet. You know, she's trying to sue
She's gonna
Meta.
lose.
She's
I'm
trying
sorry.
to sue all these people. And
I
not
work for that.
one
I used to work.
time,
I'm sorry to say I
one
worked for the
time
MTA
she
before.
didn't say that she was responsible for not checking the social media.
I know,
She
but I
didn't
hate to
say
say this.
anything, or she was completely absolved herself for the responsibility of her son going wayward.
And let me
And
tell
that's
you
the
real
problem.
quickly.
And there's no goddamn man in any of the pictures.
I know, but let me tell you real quickly. I used to work for MTA. She's not gonna win.
Well, I know
They've
she's
been
not
putting
going to win.
camera. They've been putting cameras in the subway to see every single moment out on that particular project. And what they were doing was to make sure stuff like that, if it happened, they got it on tape. And I promise you, it's not going to work. Let you
Yeah,
work in
I
MTA
know,
and
Black David.
I let you work in MTA how things operate. She going to lose. They're going to ask her the question: why was your son climbing on the track at a certain time, at a certain location,
Okay,
and they will have the video
I
camera
didn't mean
showing
for
it.
you to go down the rabbit hole, brother. It's
We
my final
show
thought,
out.
man. You know what I'm saying?
She's going to
No,
lose
but I
and
hear
she's going to
you.
regret it. I'm just telling you
You
right
keep talking, man, and you shut the fuck up. Huh? 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 Huh?
You know, listen, hey man, listen. I tell you what, I appreciate everybody come up on the panel. You know, and you know, here's another thing I realized that I like Trey more than he likes me.
God
You know what I'm saying? I like Trey more than he likes me, man. Let me just
Yeah,
land
that's
that
Trey.
shit right there.
Yeah, that's
And with
Trey.
that,
Go on.
everybody,
Black man,
thanks for
cut
the
that
chat.
out.
Thanks for the chat, and everybody.
Clip it.
Let's say good night. Let's say
Clip
good
this,
night.
black man. Clip this.
Good night, everybody. Y'all.
All right, that was that one. We had some fun with that one. And the next one is a political one. And again, I'm going to stop sharing this and move on to that next one. And this is the one about the amendments. And it was how a lot of prominent figures are being, railroaded by the federal government. And it's called the presumption of innocence. And one of the things that in my final thoughts is that I don't like what's going on with the First, Fifth, and Eighth Amendments. But the Fourth Amendment, we didn't talk about it at this particular show, but that's coming at some future show.
Man, let me go ahead and take my last little piece here, man, so we can go ahead and get up out of here. Listen, like I said in the beginning, I do not want to defend these guys for their bad behavior, but I want to defend the Constitution because it protects all of us, not just the bad guys, it protects the good guys. And if they could skip the Constitution, man, and get to these guys just because they're bad, that's a slippery slope I don't want to go down. Because, at some point, we're all going to be on the other side of what they want. But here's my last thing on black men leading the black community, whatever is left of it into the future. I think we talk too much about relationships. If black men want to lead the black community into a future, we have to make sure in November of 2024 that the Democrats lose every swing state in the country. I don't care if you like Republicans or not. We gotta tear this shit down. We gotta break the icy, cold, dead hand of the Democrats on the black community any way we can. And I'm gonna be a voice. I don't care if I can get one or two people who care about that. And I'm starting to hear more and more. And even like that lady at the end, who's a sister. But I'm not talking about bringing sisters as part of this coalition. You want men? We have nothing. The Democrats have absolutely nothing in their planks for us. Nothing. They're breaking out. They broke our families. They've given our women incentives to leave us alone. They put us in jail in groves. They do all the shit that are anti-black male. And so what I'm saying is the way we pay these assholes back is to either one, vote independent, vote for Republicans, or don't vote at all. And let me argue this whole bullshit that if you don't vote, you are leaving out dead ancestors in a way. That's bullshit. That's another talking point. You know why? Because our ancestors would never tell us to vote for these goddamn people. They would never tell us to vote for people like that who are against our best interests. So, black men out there, for the one or two of you who hear me, I know you've been programmed just like all the rest of us for years that the Democrats or the big angry white people are going to get you if you don't vote us in, or racism this, racism that. It's all bullshit, man. You know, racism is not our biggest issue anymore. It's not. It's not. It's classism and it's everything else. So all I can say to you is, black men, if you want to make a change, let's tear all this shit down. Make the Democrats lose in November. And when they come out after us and say, because the black men, it's all your fault. They come out to vote. Everybody stand up and hold your Johnsons and tell them, you goddamn right, it's us. We're the ones who did it. And you know what? And if you want us back, you're going to have to give us legislation that we could feel before we vote for your asses again. Period. And if you can't do that, go lick on P. Diddy's ass. Anyway, so listen, that's all I had to say. And take this crazy ass man out here, like Sugar Plum said. Take me out. Let's go. Good night, everybody. Thanks for the chat.
All right. So that one was my little crazy rant. And I meant every word of it. And the last one is a sports related thing. Like I said, I'm a big Drew Holiday fan. And we were on the swivel at the sports bar, which is one of my Wednesday show at 7:00 p.m. And this one is a live show. I had some folks on. And we were talking about Drew Holiday. And one guy challenged me to say, you know what, Drew can't get in because he doesn't average 20 points a game. And so I went back into the archives and found out all the Hall of Famers who were in under 24 points a game. And so I said, well, why wouldn't he be in? He's the best defensive guard in the league. So we had some chopping up, so I chopped this up with a couple of people. So I'm going to play it for you so you guys can hear this. We'll make sure we're sharing it. And then we can get rolling again. So, yeah, we got to share. So here goes. You're going to tell me they're 100 years old.
Yeah, exactly. They played 50 years ago. Literally, right? Casey Jones.
And then they have rings.
Yeah.
And they have rings.
Yeah, exactly. They got rings. And they were
well, first of all, he got a ring.
I mean, multiple rings.
No. Now you're moving the goalpost. He got a ring.
Yeah, well, you're right.
Back in the day, those guys were the teams were scoring 70, 80 points a game, right? So you would expect Casey Jones to.
Why you want my brother to get a ring, man? No, I hear you. Listen, everybody has a good point. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Here's where I'll compromise. They're going to be debating whether he's a Hall of Fame or not. He might not get there on the first ballot, but every time when he's eligible, he's one of those, because everybody doesn't get in on the first nod. But his name, when he's eligible, his name is going to come up in a few of those years. There's no guarantee. There's no doubt about it. He's still playing like he's a young guy, man. I like Drew. I'm a Drew Holiday fan. That guy, let me tell you, if Boston wins the championship, okay, let me throw this scenario out at you. He's an integral part on the Celtics right now. He's playing 30-something minutes a game. If they win the championship, now he has 2 rings. And when he showed up for Milwaukee, they won. If this is his first year with Boston, if they win a ring, he's got to be a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, that would help his case if he does win another ring. But the fact that he's been in the NBA for 16 years, and I never really knew about him till about a couple of years ago when the Bucks were in the playoffs. I think, I mean, like I said, and I follow basketball a lot. And, so I don't know.
Let me tell you, man, the fact that Judy the Hero doesn't feel, the fact that Charles didn't hear him
means he didn't play.
Come on. If he was much of an impact player,
You know, a lot of those years he was in New Orleans. Nobody heard.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, New Orleans might have been on TV twice in the whole year.
Maybe that's.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, first of all, brother, I like your arrogance, man. Keep it up.
No, I'm saying when you're good, the NBA knows you.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Well, let me stop it right there. Okay, so that was our last discussion. That's the fourth video, and that's all I was going to share on my takes on certain topics. You know, so I'm gonna probably come back with a couple volumes of this if I find some old tapes that I did before, and of course. There had to be some of the ones when I were most profound, you know what I'm saying? But I have fun with this. So I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'll put the links to the videos, the full videos from the channels that I took them from. You know, it's just a couple. And so they'll be in the description, just so I give Phil credit to where I got them from and the panels that I were on. But anyway, so that's my first volume of my final thoughts and takes. And it's a little self-serving, but that's okay. It's my channel. And I have some fun with this YouTube stuff. Payne, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.